Hey folks, we are back on trail, and this weekend we are doing one of the most epic backpacking loops in all of Colorado, the Four Pass Loop. Let's go get it. We are starting our trip at the West Maroon Trailhead, which is not the traditional start for the Four Pass loop. That would be the Maroon Lake Trailhead. But that trailhead requires reservations or shuttle drives and a lot of logistics. Whereas you don't need any type of reservation to park at the West Maroon Trailhead. So we decided to start from here. We're not actually on the Four Pass loop. We're on the West Maroon Trail, and we're going to be on it for about 3 miles until we actually hook up with the Four Pass loop. And then we're going to be heading counterclockwise, so we'll be heading up West Maroon Pass today. The Maroon Lake Trailhead is the traditional trailhead, and that scene where you see the bells behind Maroon Lake, that is special. So if you get the chance to get the permits and the reservations, then I would recommend doing that, because that is a beautiful view of the Maroon Bells behind Maroon Lake. And the way we're going, we're not going to see that, so we're cutting off that part of the trail that comes from the Maroon Lake Trailhead all the way to like Crater Lake, and we're just basically replacing it with the West Maroon Trail. And these wildflowers are amazing. We're here in late July, so they should be in full bloom, and they are not disappointing. And that's one of the reasons this is my favorite backpacking loop in Colorado, is because of the wildflowers. They are just special. It's our first good view of West Maroon Pass. It's that craggy rock little dip there. We're about a mile and a half. Right now we're at about 11,200 feet, and I think the pass is around 12,300. So we have about 1,000 feet climb and about a mile and a half, so it's about to get steep. Now you might notice a little bit of haze in the air. Over the past week, in at least northern Colorado, we've had smoke just blanketing the Rocky Mountains. And I hear that they're coming from Wyoming, I think. And we hope they were settling on the other side of the Continental Divide. And it is definitely much better here. But you can definitely see a bit of haze. There is some blue sky, but definitely some haze in the sky. Looks like we are coming up on the intersection of where the West Maroon Trailhead connects with the official Fort Pass Loop. All right, we are officially on the Fort Pass Loop now. That was about 3.2 miles from the West Maroon Trailhead to get to the actual loop. And now I think we have probably a little less than a mile to get up to the pass. We're at 11,700 right now. The pass is at 12.3. So we have about 600 feet of climbing and about 0.8 of a mile. So it's about to get even steeper. I think we have made it to the top West Maroon Pass. Whew. Alright, let's see what this kind of view is on the other side. Oh yeah. Whew. That's spectacular. There's Nancy. Made it to the top. Oh yeah, it's pretty flat from there. Yeah, it is. Beautiful. Yeah, that was easy. 1 down, 3 to go. Just not today. My watch, I have the Garmin Instinct Solar 2, and it says that I'm at 12,500. So I need to check my map and see which is right. So we have West Maroon Pass all to ourselves. I can't say that's ever happened to me before. This is generally a very crowded pass, whether people are coming from Maroon Lake or they're coming from West Maroon Trail. There are generally tons of people, but it's a Wednesday around noon, and we have it all to ourselves. So this is fabulous. Great little spot for a snack break and enjoy the view. So you can see the trail we have to take. So we're probably gonna hike another 3-4 miles, and then right around that corner where those trees are at, whichever camp spot we like best, that's where we'll camp. But it's beginning to sprinkle a little bit on us. It doesn't look like it's anything dangerous, but it's gonna be time to head down. So it's pretty steep coming down this trail, and it's always just slow and steady. Obviously, you know, being able to tackle one of these passes is very physical, but I think it's also a mental game that you have to play as well. I think you have to have some mental fortitude to be able to make it up. You know, for me, I'm 51 years old, and I stopped several times coming up that West Maroon Pass, but you know, I think one thing that I do well is I recover. So when I stop, you know, I'll catch my breath, get my breathing under control, get my heart rate down, and then I feel fine, you know, and then I just push on until I make it to the top. And you know, so for me, I think I have to have kind of a mental toughness to be able to just, even though I may be going up a little slower than others, but just having, you know, that mental toughness to make it to the top and to push through. We're only about a mile from camp, so I really don't want to get my feet wet at this point. We brought water shoes, so I'm gonna put them on. Hiking app says that this is a strenuous crossing, and it might be maybe an early snow melt, but no issues for Nancy and I. And actually, that water felt pretty good, and it's nice having dry shoes. So we rested for a little bit. We have maybe a mile. There's another water crossing that I think I'd like to tackle today. When it's warmer this afternoon rather than when it's really cold in the morning. And but we'll see how far we get. All right, see you on the trail. So this stretch coming down from West Maroon Pass going counterclockwise, it's not easy hiking for sure. That first mile is just steep down the pass, and then now we're either bushwhacking through bushes, or we are crossing muddy streams, or we're dealing with a lot of rocks, and so it's hard to get a good pace going. All right, here's our final stream crossing for the day. We just figured it'd be better to cross this in the heat of the afternoon than cold of the morning. So this one doesn't look too bad. We think we have found a spot where we can cross over on the rocks. We just saw some guys come across it, so I'm gonna go check it out. Good job, babe. All right, I think, there's some good camping spots now in this grove of trees. Let's hope so. All right, coming into a grove of woods. Let's see if we can see something.
I see trail over there.
Yeah. The key is to look for a spur trail and find a campsite. Yeah, we can check it out. Alright, I think I found us a camp spot. Took a little bit of hunting, but right around this Taos field and into that forest. This is just beautiful as we are ending our day and about 1/10 of a mile from our campsite. We finally found camp after a bit of exploring. As soon as we crossed that second water crossing, there was a good spot there, but it was closed for revegetation and there was nothing else there. So we next went to the next set of groves, and there was a perfect spot for us, but there was a dad and his 2 boys there. And interestingly enough, I started talking to them about just their different spots around in that area and how long they'd been out there. And he said this was their second day that they went up to West Maroon Pass, and he just saw that they couldn't make it. So technically he's not supposed to be in this zone, but he's got 2 little boys. I completely understand, and keeping them safe. So we were looking around that area. Oh, but that was such a great camp spot. But we were looking around that area and just nothing really for a flat tent. you know, I found places I could hang a hammock. And then I saw there was another grove of trees about another quarter of a mile, and I'm like, I have to go look. I'm gonna kick myself tomorrow morning if I walk by this grove of trees and I see that there's a good campsite. Well, sure enough, we found one, and it's not huge, but it has a much flatter spot for Nancy to pitch her tent. There's a stream instead of the big creek. There's a stream right beside us, so the water is easier access, and then I can hang my hammock. There's a bunch of trees I can hang my hammock from, so that won't be a problem. And there's some views, so we'll show you the views from the campsite as well. But it worked out. It's only 4 o'clock even after all that, so we're just gonna rest up, cook some dinner, and just enjoy the evening. All right, see you later. All right, folks, camp is set. Camp clothes are on, and Nancy and I are feeling a little more refreshed and clean after a good day of hiking. But let me show you around camp. It's not much to it. It's pretty small, but it has some good views. It has flat ground for Nancy's tent, and that's really what we're looking for. So first, let me show you my setup. It's pretty similar. So I do have the Dyneema tarp from Hammock Gear, and I am still fine-tuning what I want to do for the JMT. So again, I do have a pad in here, the Nemo Tensor, and this is the Zen Bivy 25-degree quilt. Nancy has the lighter one, but still just as warm. I have my ditty bag, which I hang from my ridge line so I can have easy access to like my flashlight, my pillow, which is great, my Nemo pillow, and then I keep things in my pillow barn if I need to access, like my puffy jacket. Also brought some down booties which help keep my feet warm, and I also have my clothes bag with my clothes in from the day, and other things I want to access when if I need to be warm, like a hat and gloves. I do have a bug net here, but it's not really buggy right now, so I figure, hey, let's just leave it off, and it's been working out just fine. For Nancy's setup, she has the Big Agnes Tiger Wall, and she's got a pretty good view from there. She also has a Big Agnes sleeping pad, which is a little bit warmer, hoping that's going to keep her warm, and my other Zen Bivy system, the lighter one. So she should do well tonight, and that's about it. We have a nice log where we can cook and eat our dinner. Nancy's down at the water right now, getting the water for cooking, and we've got some decent views here at the campsite. Well, I think that's going to do it for today. We woke up at about 2:30 this morning, left at 3, got at the trailhead around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and we're just kind of exhausted from not getting a lot of sleep last night. So we're probably just going to cook some dinner, and then go right to bed. But it was a fantastic day. That first part of the trail with all those wildflowers, they were just stunning. And then coming up West Maroon Pass is hard, but it was beautiful on both sides. To see the mountains on both sides is always awesome. And then coming down, I think, was almost a little harder, because we're like bushwhacking through the rocks and the bushes and the mud. A couple of creek crossings with no issue, but glad to be at camp, glad to get some dinner going, and we're just gonna go to sleep soon after. But we will see you in the morning. One of my favorite views. Whew.